Recording in progress. Okay, so then let's start here. What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another edition, another installment, another episode. Yes, you feel me? Y'all listen. DeVonta's world is back, man. You feel me? But let me just drop a time one more time. Super excited to be back. Welcome again, everybody, to the DeVonta's World podcast with your boy Tyler Pie Guy. This is season 3. We have so much to get into today on the show. We have been gone since damn near October. This podcast in particular, I haven't been gone, but this podcast in particular has been gone. And I'm super excited to be back, man. I'm super happy. And I'm gonna get into all of that here on the show, but I want to just give a super thank you to all of our listeners who kept with us. This podcast has been on a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? This has probably been the most roller coasterous podcast that I've had, just going up and down due to environmental things like air COVID, right? And so we've been, going on it's been a real roller coaster ride with this podcast since 2020, since we started. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody that has continued to listen, that has continued to stay patient with this particular podcast, with all of my podcasts. We really do appreciate you. So subscribe to us on all platforms. We are officially back. Season 3 is here. We're officially back. We're going to be in this boy. Okay, so if you are new to the podcast, you don't know particularly what the DeVonta's World podcast is, we're going to switch some things up a little bit this season. We're still going to do the food, travel, and culture, of course. That is I believe the premise of our podcast, to go check out some food. I'm eating food right now. I'm eating watermelon. Right, we're eating watermelon right now. Okay, because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day, and I've been literally moving into should I say our place? They always says our place, you know what I'm saying? So our place, right? Moving in with my girlfriend, and everything like that. It's been a journey. So we're gonna get into all of that, right? We're gonna get into all of that. I gotta spill tea. You feel what I'm saying? We have to get into a lot of things. But before we get into all that, thank you for listening. Subscribe to, all of I can't even speak today because we're so excited. So subscribe to the podcast. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts from. That may be Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are there. So go ahead and check us out. Follow us on the gram at DW Podcast. One thing about my Instagram, though, I keep my Instagram updated. You feel what I'm saying? So we haven't really been away. We just have been away from the mic, right? So again, thank you to everybody that continues to listen. Thank you to everybody that continues to subscribe. We're going to have this podcast, of course, back on YouTube. So we're back. We are officially back. Listen, man. What have I been doing in the last, what has it been, 6 October, November, December, January? Was it 3 months? Man, no. Actually, it's really been a year, right? I haven't posted an episode. Hold on, let me go to my Instagram real quick. Because I feel like I haven't posted an episode in forever. You hear me? Oh, let me see. Nope. Tip. Okay. The last episode we posted was episode 40. And that's when I went whale watching. And that's when we went to Biggest Cafe. And that's when I had Venereals for the first time, and had their cannolis. That was September 26, 2021. So literally October, November, December, January. And now we're here. What has happened to little old me? And if you don't know why this is called DeVonta's World, let me just give you a premise. My middle name is DeVonta, right? And if you've listened to any of my podcasts before this year, right, and maybe a little bit before Ty the Pie Guy was actually my name change, I used my middle name as my podcast name. So we just switched it up. But I love DeVonta because that's my name. And I love it. So what has been happening in the last 4 months? Where do we start? I had a docket for this. Where do we start? Well, my best friend, shout out to her. She moved out of New York, right? And when she initially told me she was moving from New York back to Chicago, I will sit here and say initially I was scared shitless. Okay. Mind you, I have not found a job. Okay. I've literally applied in the year 2021. I could legitimately say that I've applied for almost 500 to 1,000 jobs, and about 99% of those have turned me down, looked at me as overqualified, or just sends me that great old email. Hey, your qualifications look great, but we're going to go in another direction. And I'm glad I've got to a point now in that to say that I can laugh at it, because last year and during this time last year and maybe even half of 2021, I was not fucking feeling it. Do you hear me? Like, it'll be days where I would apply for jobs and literally sit there and wait. Like, literally just like a little kid, like just sit there and wait. And it got to a point where like looking for jobs became more important than what I actually love to do and what what my job really is, and which is this, right? And being a content maker and a producer and a podcast host and podcast producer, all that good stuff, right? And so I wasn't really tapping into that for real. I would say probably the first half of 2021, I wasn't tapping into that because I was looking consistently for a job. I got one in a sense, right? But that didn't work out, right? Money and compensation issues, but it just didn't work out, right? And even still, it was a part-timer. Like, when I say part-time, it was like 10 hours a week. So this is little money coming into my pocket. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not really getting anything. The little that I have, I try to make stretch. Right now, I'm not the best when it comes to financial stability and shit like that. I'm getting better. Don't get me wrong. And I know that about myself, but I'm getting better. Here's the thing, though. With the shit that I had, I'm looking, and I think for me, I was looking at the bad so much in 2021. I was looking at the bad so much in the first half of 2021. And I had to get some shit in order. I was like, yo, why am I putting so much energy getting stressed out? I mean, y'all, I had gas in my back, bro. I'm 20 goddamn 7. Why am I having gas in my back at this damn age? Not to say that I can't get it, but I'm sitting there saying like, bro, why am I getting gas at this age? I'm stressing myself out and I don't want to say for nothing, but in a sense, I'm stressing myself out for nothing because this is something I can't control. Okay. Y'all don't know how many times I've switched my resume over. Many people have told me to not put my master's on my resume. People have told me to keep it on my resume. I've applied with it off my resume, with it on my resume. I got to a point where I was like, fuck all of this shit. Like, what the fuck? It got to a breaking point, right? It got to a fucking breaking point. And when I was putting out episodes, again, I had to stop, especially for the DeVontas World podcast, because I really wasn't really into going out. One, it was COVID. Two, I'm sitting at home and I just want to be at home. Real talk. Like, let's keep that a beat. I just want to be at home. Vaccinated or not, which I am right now. And we'll get into that a little later. I don't want to be outside. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to, like, my girl, if it wasn't for my girl, like she really, like, come on, babe, let's go outside. Let's do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. And she sees me struggling. You understand what I'm saying? She sees me struggling, but she's not demeaning me. She's not sitting here, chastising me. She is sitting here trying to help me. Like, yo, come on. We got this. It's all gonna be good. And she seen me struggle. She seen me go through a lot of the shit that I went through here and was like, God damn. She was like, the fact that you moved out here during a pandemic, you understand what I'm saying? In the heart of a pandemic, for real. In the first wave, right? I'm dodging. Okay. She's like, you gotta understand, you gotta stop beating yourself up so much. But you gotta grow at the same time. Right. And I had to understand, don't beat myself up, but grow at the same time. Okay. And my word for this year in 2022 is discipline, right? Really being, I know I can focus and I know I can hone and zone in on things. It's being disciplined with my mind. It's being disciplined with my finances. It's being disciplined with my body. It's being disciplined in every area, emotionally, everything. It's being disciplined, right? Not to say I'm not disciplined, right? Because I think I'm pretty disciplined, but I'm out of it. In order for me to continue on the journey and the level that I'm going at, we have to be disciplined. I have to be disciplined, right? For me wanting a team with my business, I have to be disciplined enough, right? I have to get to that mindset. So I have to continue to grow. So my word of the year this year was discipline. And so after 2021, during that break period, it was literally, still podcasting, of course, with the other 3 podcasts, the R&B and Chill, the Black Men Win, and the Opinionated Brother podcast, of course. But I felt like I couldn't do this podcast because for me, all 4 podcasts breathe authenticity. You understand what I'm saying? And so for me, authentic means actually going to the place, trying the food, getting there. Like I want the whole shebang. And if I can't do it the way I can do it and how I was feeling at the time, then I'm not going to bring y'all crappy ass content. I would rather go on, and this was the decision, I would rather go on hiatus for a minute with this podcast and not put out an episode. Maybe put a few memes out on our Instagram and still be active than to sit here and put out crappy content where my listeners know, what the fuck is this? What is this? First of all, this ain't you. And second of all, this ain't good. Okay. So I had to really focus. I had to really, zone in on what I really wanted, not only for my company. And this is the thing for me, not only just for my company, but also for each one of my podcasts. How do I want them to look? And what I did first was the DeVonta's Workplace podcast. Like I said, fuck every other podcast because I understand the assignment with those. This one right here, I feel is very special. It has very great potential. And I had to hone in and say, okay, Todd, how can you make this special? Even in the panoramic and the shit that's happening right now in your life, how can you make this special? And I figured it out, right? For me, you're going to get a lot more what's happening in my life type of things on this podcast, right? Being more transparent in how if you ever read a blog of mine, I'm very transparent in my blog. So my thing was DeVonta's World, even when in written form, was very transparent and open and honest about what was going on in his life and how everything was going. Like, then what the hell? I have to bring that element over here. And I felt like that was missing. And so once I made that happen, I was like, oh, everything falls into place. And low key, different shit was happening to me during the break. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was a great break to have, and I was really proud of that. I got to see a marathon, right? I got to record a marathon that was happening, the 50th annual New York Marathon that happened all day. Got to record a little bit of that. You understand what I'm saying? Got to take pictures in the Bronx. See, here's the thing. The Bronx is beautiful, right? particularly where my girl's mother lives, um, in in South Bronx, excuse me. And so you go to the 21st floor, you go to the roof. Those pictures are, whew, that's a photographer's dream right there. Like that's that. Like now, photographers, I believe, won't go into that space because they understand, um, well, depending on what your skin color look like, or how you coming. You could, but you gonna get a lot of eyes. But I'm saying that environment right there, that 21st floor, that rooftop, is a photographer's dream because it grabs so much. Like I go up there and I just look out, and you experience and you understand that New York is really a concrete jungle. It really is a concrete jungle. Like it is beautiful, right? In its own way. And you just look around like, damn. It was one time I captured a photo when it rained and it got mad foggy. And you couldn't even see the city. You couldn't even see the buildings. It was crazy. It's crazy how this just like how nature and how God was working. Not in maybe not in that, but I'm just saying, right? For me, over that period, God was working, and we're here now. And so, if you have not seen already, we have a new network logo. We are an LLC now, as a whole company, media company now. We have our new website together. We have our business line of credit. We are out here. You understand what I'm saying? And these are the things that I was very nervous about, the things that I wanted to get accomplished in 2021, and which I did. One of my biggest goals for 2021 was to get an LLC for my media company and network, and I did just that. And the crazy thing is about my stupid ass is that this could have been done a long time ago. And again, stressing myself out. I was making this process so fucking hard. I'm looking and looking. And for me, it was like I would give up so easily on shit like that. Right. I would give up so easily on shit like that. I don't want to do that. It was like I would go Google how to get an LLC. The first thing that Google pops up is LegalZoom. Okay. So LegalZoom, initially, in my mind, I'm like, damn, you gotta pay $199. Then all of this? No. My boy was like, just fill it out on the state website, bro. It's like, what? I've been trying to do this for like a year and a half, and all I had to do was this. Like it was such a moment of stupidity and clarity. Like I was just like, I give up way too easy. Like in a sense of like little shit, like the shit that you just look up, like you just keep looking, you can find it. That's what I learned in 2021 too. Keep looking and you will find it. So, we listen, the break was great. Hiatus was great. I needed it for sure. I took like a company hiatus for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the, you know what I'm saying? Just like, yikes. Because I didn't want podcast burnout. Right? I didn't want podcast burnout. Burnout is when you burn out from a podcast, it's like you don't want to do it anymore. And then you forget why you love to do it. Right. And so I didn't want that. I didn't want that at all. And I definitely had to take a break from because y'all got to understand, hold the hell on. Recording 4 podcasts, like this is the first week I'm back, right? And I knew I had to come with it. Okay. Dropping 4 podcasts this week, new episodes this week. Okay. I had to come with it. I had to come with the shits. And so I was like, okay, this is about to be a crazy week for me, but it felt good. And it feels good because, again, this is the last podcast that I'm recording for the week. And I always wanted a schedule in how I wanted my work week to be, right? Not necessarily knowing that it's not going to be a 9 to 5er, and not necessarily knowing that it's going to be having to stay up all night to work shit. No, it's understanding, okay, you record this day, this day, this day. And if you get some interviews, for this particular podcast or for this particular podcast, you'll be good. And so it's just been a roller coaster ride. And I'm happy to be back again. So going into that, Omicron got my ass, y'all. Now, if you listen to the DeVontas World podcast, we talked about COVID, we talked about the vaccine, we talked about a lot of that things, when I moved to New York early and even beforehand. So, I always was skeptical about said vaccine, and still to this day skeptical with vaccine in system. And yes, I do have the vaccine, and we'll get into that. So I dodged both waves of COVID, right? In a sense where I dodged the first wave, I'm pretty sure, because I got COVID test. No, I was negative through the first wave and the Delta wave, right? And so pretty much I felt like I was going to be fine. You understand what I'm saying? I stay in the house most of the time. I'm not trying to go outside. Don't come in my airspace if you are in my airspace. And that's really hard in New York because everybody's in your fucking airspace. You understand what I'm saying? Culture topic right now. New York has no airspace. Like, everybody is in your space. Like, there's pockets of time periods where on the subway or on the train, on the subway, that like, oh, okay, the subway is not crowded today. But if you go during like let's say in the morning, everybody's going to work, everybody's getting off, everybody's going to lunch. There's no, and even going downtown, right? Just even going downtown, even in the neighborhood that I'm living right now, there's no airspace. There's no type of airspace. There's no and even even in your buildings, there's no airspace. There's no spaces to say, let me just breathe. Let air circulate. You understand what I'm saying? And so with that, I ended up at the house. And long story short, I got COVID. Now, I do know who and what happened with COVID. I won't necessarily give that away due to sensitive things in that. But and I'm not mad at the person at all. I was just shocked to get it and then find out that that person gave it to me. And so it was just like, whoa, because you need to understand who you're around. Right. There was we talked about this on the After Dark show for the Opinionated Brother. There have been moments captured on camera where people are texting other folks on planes saying, hey, I'm on this plane with COVID. Does that not warrant an ass whooping? I said that on the Opinionated on the After Dark. Does that not warrant an ass whooping? That at least warrants some jail time, of course. But COVID can kill. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not to sit here and scare anybody, but it can, and it has. Right? We know this. We've seen it. And so I was down and out for about a couple of days. And for me, I'm thinking that this is a regular fever. Okay? Now, I get a bad fever, right? Now, but I also get sick normally during this wintertime. Okay? Normal sinus infection, sinuses going crazy, hachoo, take some Mucinex or some NyQuil and call it a day, and I'll be good. You understand? Like nothing too crazy. Everybody has their allergies and sinuses during the season. So I thought it was going to be nothing too crazy. However, right, one sign that I knew something was kind of off is my fever was like, when I closed my eyes to go to bed, it hurt so bad. I was like, why does it hurt to close my eyes? Like, like I was like, yo, why does it hurt to close my eyes right now? Like my eyeballs feel on fire. Like it felt like I was about to be Superman and just shoot out some, just, like, what the hell is going on? And so I would lay down. I just told my girlfriend, like, yo, can you pull out the bed for me? I just need to lay down. I just need to lay down. I just need to lay down. I'm really not feeling good. Now, I wasn't too much nauseated or anything like that. There were points in time where I felt like I was going to throw up, but I was good. But I started to get better, right? Took a few NyQuil pills and everything like that. Started to get better, drank orange juice, water. Then my girlfriend, she starts to get sick. And see, her sick is way different from my sick. My sick is like, all right, I'm down and out for 2 days. I'm a baby. I can't do anything. Right? That's me. But her sick, yo, like, if I could tell you my scare, I don't know if I've ever been that scared in my life for real. I don't think, and especially for somebody that I care about's life, right? I've never been in that situation where I felt like a life might be taken just off somebody being sick or just off the supernatural. You understand what I'm saying? Because when she got sick, she vomited for 3 days straight, bro. And when I tell you my girl is not she's fit, right? She's fit. You know what I'm saying? She's slim, fit, and thick. You understand what I'm saying? So when she sat here and vomited for like when I say y'all, when I say 3 days straight, I mean like she would come from the bathroom after throwing up, and then literally like, babe, do you want some water? Get her a little water. Oh, nope. Back to the bathroom. I meaning she probably threw up at least 6 to 7, maybe 5 to 6 times each day of that, each day for that 3-day period. When I tell you, I call my mom crying, bro, because I didn't know what to do. Her mom is going to work. I don't know what to do at this point. Okay? I am scared. She has lost mad weight. You understand? Like when I say weight, bones, hip bones. I see her hip bones, y'all. Like I'm just getting a little emotional. Think about it. Hip bones. Cause she was getting emotional, right? Cause she, as a woman, is now feeling insecure about her body. And so that all, if you know me, that makes me feel. And I'm like, oh shit. You understand what I'm saying? She can't see me crying. No, she can't see me sitting here getting emotional. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my mom in this bathroom and I'm going to be like, what the hell? Okay. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Do I need to take her to the like? I'm like, do we go to the hospital? Do we go to the do we go to urgent care? Let me tell you, I'm calling mad urgent cares. Okay. Mad urgent cares, City MD, all up in urgent cares up and through New York. Can't get a COVID test. Can't get this. Can't get that because they're either over capacity, they're closed, or both. Okay. And at this point, I had to call my mom at that point and was just like, I'm trying here. Like I really was like, I'm trying here. I just broke down in the bathroom, right? No lights. And just broke down like, yo, I'm scared, Mom. I might lose a person that I love very much. I might lose her. And I'm scared because I'm trying to do everything to make sure that she does. And I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, what is going on? And so we took a COVID test. We took an at-home COVID test, and it said we were positive, both of us. And so we then went to go take another COVID test to confirm, in which we were both positive. And so we quarantined, of course, you know what I'm saying, for about 5 days. Quarantined for at least like 14 days. For real. We quarantined for like 2 weeks. Just to get our shit together, and then took another COVID test because she had to go back to work. She had to go back to work. Okay, she had to go back to work, and so we had to. It was rough. It was rough, and then the residue after COVID, trying to get back into everything, because COVID takes a lot out of you. I don't know if y'all have ever had COVID, but COVID takes a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? And let me just say this, I never disrespected anybody that had COVID, right? I never disrespected the COVID itself. I was always skeptical and been skeptical about the virus and how it always got here. That will never change. But just when getting it, you know, it just put a lot of things in perspective. And so your boy's vaccinated. You feel what I'm saying? Because after that, after seeing my girl like that, I, for one, did not want any type of, if I ever got it again, didn't want any type of long-term longing effects. And neither did she. Because that was scary. And so, yeah, we're here now. It was a moment. You feel what I'm saying? I was like, damn, I was good though. You know, I mean, like, I just, again, it just felt like a bad cold for me. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people around me were getting it. And not just around me, right? Because I don't have a lot of people around me in New York. It's just me and my girl. But in my circle, the people I know, the people I went to college with, the people I know from back home in Detroit and Florida, like, my brother got it. You know, the my brother who hosts the podcast with me, the PNA brother, like, he got it. His whole fam bam got it. From his girl to the kids, right? My boy and my boy's girl got it. Like, it was just Omicron didn't take any prisoners. It didn't matter if you were vaccinated, unvaccinated, child, man, woman, bird, snake, parrot, goat, horse, cow, pig, crocodile, shark, whale. It didn't care. Didn't care. Did not give a damn. Water. Didn't care. Everybody needed to wear a mask. Everybody. Real talk. Everybody needed to wear a mask. Everybody. And I was like, damn. It's taking everybody off. And so just make sure whether you're vaccinated or not. Okay. Just please, if you feel sick, stay your ass at home. Okay? I've been home. Ain't no way. I ain't going out. Huh? I ain't go out when I wasn't vaccinated. Shit. I'm not saying I ain't gonna go out now, but be safe. If you got the vid, don't go nowhere. If you got symptoms like you got the vid, don't go nowhere. You don't need to. No. Sit your ass at home. I get it. I get it. You don't want to be home. That's not your forte, bro. You ain't trying to do all that. I understand. But there comes a point in time where you have to sit here and be adult and stop being a little kid, a little baby about shit, and actually grow up. Okay. So that's been a recap for me, guys. life has been a lot, but it's been great. We moved into our new place. Shout out to that. Can we get a hand clap? Thank you. We moved into our new place. It's a beautiful 1-bedroom apartment here in the Bronx. It's amazing. We're, making it a little house, a little home, you know, and we're partying. That's even drop a bomb for that. Boy got a new Zoom, like got a new, podcast sound system. We out here. You know what I'm saying? Like we really are trying to be better for real. You feel what I'm saying? Like I just know for me, I'm coming close to my 30s. And the more I'm coming close to my 30s and the more I'm hearing a lot of my friends who are getting into their 30s and who are 30 and who are over 30 talk, I see a lot of what they're saying. Okay. I'm understanding more a lot of a lot of what they are talking about and preaching. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for what's it to bring. But some of the spots, one spot in particular that I want to highlight, that kind of blew my mind for 2021, was this brewery in the Bronx, right? South Bronx. By the Bruckner. Okay. Well, no, actually, it's by the Bruckner. And it's called the Bronx Brewery. Now, let me tell you, great food, good people. Yo, the ambiance is amazing. If you've been on my Instagram, I actually have a video. I don't know if I actually posted it on my reel, but I think I still have it. Of the me going to Bronx Brewery. And one of the things that really intrigued me about the Bronx Brewery is that they have their tables, some of their tables, at least their high tables, have cassette tapes of various types of music from various artists. And I mean from like AC/DC to Biggie Smalls. You understand what I'm saying? From Nirvana to KRS-One. Like they have it with the drinks, with the food, right? Oh my God. Their empanadas. They have various empanadas that are fucking mucho gusto. They are fucking fire. Do you hear me? They're fuego. Listen, drop a bomb. Do you hear me? Drop a bomb for the Bronx Brewery because they have it, and we would definitely be back. We would definitely be back to go into the Bronx Brewery. This is the third borough that I have lived in. Have we not? I want to talk about that really quick. This is the third borough that I have lived in. Now, let me tell you something. I've lived in Brooklyn, right? When I initially got here, lived in Brooklyn with my best friend. Then we moved to Harlem, Manhattan, okay? And now we're here in the Bronx, right? Michigan boy, Florida boy, however you want to call it, Florida, Michigan boy, right? Detroit boy, honestly. Coming to this big city, and every borough has its own culture. With that, every place that I have visited, Flatbush in Brooklyn, I mean, I was living in Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy, Flatbush has its own subcultures. Like, let me just say, New York has a lot. and it's the subcultures. Like, my thing is, where we're living at now is a very Jamaican neighborhood. It's very Jamaican. I love it, right? Where I lived at in Harlem, in East Harlem, very Hispanic. You feel what I'm saying? You could tell, and I could definitely tell. Brooklyn, very black. Very mixed race and black, right? Like very mixed race and black. Hear me. Like black culture. You feel what I'm saying? Like I did. And I told my girl, I said, she was like, if you would have to move or stay, in which one, where would you go? And I said, well, I haven't been to Queens yet, right? I haven't lived in Queens yet. So I kind of want to maybe live in Queens, but Queens is pretty deep, right? The more I'm learning New York and the more I'm learning the subway and shit like that, I'm also learning how these fucking trains are pretty fucking deep. And I'm like, for me, not being a native, right? Not having native tongue and shit like that. I'm thinking like for me, a 45-minute train ride ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, in my mind, I'm exploring. I'm watching the trains. I'm on the trains. I feel like I'm just going. You know, so for me, a 45-minute train ride ain't shit, but for somebody else who's been here, who's lived here all their life, a 45-minute train ride is like, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? Especially don't let the trains be fucked up and shit, and it's snowing and they, fucked up or it's crowded and shit like that. Oh, it's just a bad day. It's just a bad day. But I think for me, I resonated a little bit more with Brooklyn. I don't know yet about the Bronx, right? I have to definitely give it some time, right? I think I have definite love for the Bronx because this is the birthplace of hip hop, period. And I actually love this area because my loctician is literally up the street. So shout out to you, Miss Claudia. But it's interesting how I've moved around. It's just interesting how I've moved around New York. And I had to take a step back and say, like, wow, this is my third borough that I've lived in. That's amazing. Right. And I'm not even counting the circumstances or how it's happened or, what has happened. I've been able to have the ability to really, really, kind of walk around the areas that I've walked around, kind of, experience people, be the authentic person that I am. Because honestly, I'm thankful that in all the boroughs that I've lived in so far, I've had no problems. And I keep it that way. You feel what I'm saying? Listen, I don't want no problem. It's respect. You feel what I'm saying? I give respect to, to get respect. And so it's been an interesting, move. Here's the thing though. When we count moving in Michigan and moving to New York, now here's the thing. I've moved a lot of folks in Michigan, especially in Grand Rapids, especially during my college career. I moved a lot of people in and out of houses. Okay. Me and my boys surprised we ain't starting no goddamn moving company. But when I tell you moving in New York is something totally type of different in this bit, I don't know. I get why people don't want to get the fuck up out their apartment. I understand why they don't want to move nowhere. Because do you understand how much that is? Yo, I'm still recovering from moving in. Hear me when I say this. It's been about a week so far. Well, no, it hasn't. It's been about it's been about 4 days. But I'm still recovering from moving in because it's a lot. And it was cold that day too. It was like 12 to fucking degrees, bro. I was like, oh, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. But it's amazing to experience different cultures. It's amazing to kind of experience the environment that you're in. And it's kind of amazing to see the difference in environments. You understand what I'm saying? The difference in how things work in different areas. You feel what I'm saying? How different subcultures work and everything like that. So I'm excited to be here. And like I said, I got mad love for the Bronx. So I'm excited to be in the third borough, man. Last thing on the list, listen, we posted a picture of one of my favorite meals to eat in the wintertime during breakfast. Cocoa wheat, malto meal. Now, I don't know if anybody has had malto meal, right? Hot cereal, okay? Now, grits. Everybody has had this talk with grits. Cheese or sugar? Sugar or cheese? Cheese or sugar? Sugar, cheese, cheese, sugar, sugar. Ah, shut up. Doesn't matter. You eat grits how you want to eat grits, okay? But what I know y'all ain't eating is no hot cereal. All right. Now, only the elite of the elite know about hot cereal. About the black man on the box with the bowl in his hand. Huh? The original or the maple and brown sugar. See, a lot of people don't know about this because a lot of people think they're beneath malto meal and all of this. But see, what I come to say is that I believe you ate it a lot and you liked it a lot. You don't want to give it to your kids because, oh, it's beneath. No, it's actually not. It's actually very great. I'm about to go make me a bowl in a minute, actually. So malto meal and, hot cereal has always been a part of my life, right? They've always been. My grandma, auntie have always made that, right? I think they've made that more than grits, and I think I've liked that more than grits, right? It's not as grainy as grits for me. And it tastes, I don't know what it is. It gives me a grit. It's not as grainy as grits, but it gives me a grit type of texture, if that makes sense, right? But when it comes to the malto meal cocoa wheat, when I seen that, when my mama first brought that home to me, I said, "What is that?" She said, "That's cocoa wheat." I said, "Wait, is that like the maple and brown sugar one that you make too?" I said, "I want that one for my." She put that one in my face, put a little sugar in that thing. I was hooked from at least like 8 years old on. Hooked. I have 2 boxes sitting right in my cabinet. The fact that literally New York does not have this, and that's another thing about New York, bro. A lot of the shit that's up in Michigan that's being sold like multi-mill and all that, y'all don't have here. And it's very depressing. Okay? It's very depressing. It's already enough that your Coney Island isn't our Coney Island, right? That's already depressing enough as a Detroiter. Okay? Already as a Detroiter, it's already depressing that your Coney Island is not Coney Island. Y'all chili cheese dogs ain't our Coney dogs. Okay. It's already that depressing. All right. But then for y'all not to have no type of, and if y'all had it, it's only the regular kind. Who eats the regular kind? Right? Who eats the regular kind? You get the maple and brown sugar. I mean, if you're diabetic, then I get it, right? Because if you still like it, you're going to eat it. But even in a sense, y'all don't have cocoa wheat, bro. That made me upset. So I had to like literally go on Walmart. Okay. Shout out to Walmart. I had to go on Walmart and get 2 boxes because I wanted it. I wanted it. I wanted to relive my childhood. Okay. I wanted to relive my childhood and saying, this makes my stomach and my heart happy. Period. And we're going to drop a bomb for that. And that's what that is. All right, y'all. Listen, we are back. Okay. And I appreciate you guys. We will be back our new schedule, twice a month, every Friday. Okay. We'll be back with some new content every Friday. Let me know what you guys want me to check out here in the Bronx, particularly, or anywhere in New York. You feel what I'm saying? I will do my due diligence and my best to check that place out. So let me know in the comments or DM me or whatever. You can DM me on our Instagram page at that was pretty nasty. I don't care. You can DM me at our Instagram page. I almost choked on that shit. Wow. Almost died. You can DM me at the DW podcast with an underscore. So underscore the DW podcast on Instagram and the DeVontas World podcast on Facebook. Again, follow me on Instagram at underscore Ty the Pod Guy. And yeah, we got some new merch, of course. You can check out that. We won't drop any merch for the DeVonta's World podcast just yet. We want to build up some steam and everything like that. So we'll drop some at your request. Honestly, if you guys request some merch, we'll drop it. You feel what I'm saying? There's nothing. So let us know if you guys want to see some DeVonta's World merch, and we will drop that. Even if you don't, our merch store is for the whole month of January. It's 50% off. So go ahead and check that out. And yep, we're going to be back 2 weeks from Friday. When is that? When is that? Is that on a, is that going into February? I think it's going into February. Yeah, we'll be back February 4th. All right. So be good, stay easy, be breezy, and we will catch you on the 4th. All right. Be good. Love y'all.